What up, YouTube? Webhead Mike here, and one of my hobbies is role-playing games, which certainly has a lot of analytical parts to it, from number crunching and rules comprehension, but there is also a strong social element that goes into this, chiefly because you have to be good at language, you have to be good at arguments, you have to be good at narrative, and also you have to be good at scheduling and working out social contracts, because people have to meet up and do the thing you're going to do. And with any such thing, when you're involving other people, there's always a chance that it's going to go poorly. And that was one such story I had, which was kind of tragic because it ended an 8-year friendship. And I would always begin to wonder, did I do something wrong? Was there something different I could have done? But ultimately, I knew it had to happen because we've been playing role-playing games for almost as long in that friendship. You know, we were able to have activities outside of that to engage in, such as board games, movie nights, whatever. But over the 2 years leading up to that moment, I began to notice an irritable trend with this guy. Let's call him Ethan Ralph, or the Rage Pig. He kept getting agitated. And I mean, not just irritated or argumentative. I mean, raising his voice, shouting sometimes, showing his frustration boiling over. And it always happened whenever we sat down for a session. And even when someone else was running, or he was running, the problem would still occur. It didn't matter which seat he was in. He could be running it, he could be playing in it. It still happened. Now, I had tried to broach this in moments outside of the game and out of public, which of course, as you can guess, did not work because there was no pressure externally to change anything. And he would just continue on with whatever he was doing. So I had to make a choice, and when one session ended and we were about to end one person's arc, I said, the next session, so when yours closes, that'll be my last session, and I'm going to go on and do my own thing. I would love to still hang out with you guys and do other things, you know, no one's going away. I'd like to still have the connections we have. And everyone was okay with that, except one guy. One guy who decided to erupt like the rage pig he is and throw everyone out. I didn't anticipate that to happen. I thought that since I was bringing it up in front of everyone should be on the same page with this. I gave a 2-week notice because that's, hey, being a professional. And I wanted everyone to be on the same page with this. I wanted everyone to know what I was thinking, why I was doing this. And everyone except one was okay with it. I am still friends and talk to everyone else except this one guy. Except for this one Ethan Ralph. Now again, that is not his name. It is just a placeholder. And then, it didn't get any better from there on. After he yelled and threw us out of his house, well, we were allowed to walk out, but it was very clear he did not want us there anymore. And that's his prerogative. It was his home we were in. But I thought that might have been it. Then no. The next day, I wake up to find on Messenger, I have been removed from all of the messaging groups that I was in, even the one I was running, by him. He did that. How classless. And then he goes on his YouTube channel, which of course I expected he would, and give some commentary, but he then proceeded to bear false witness. He said, I ended the other guy's arc, which of course is not true, because I said next week will be my last. Not this week, next week. I want him to finish his thing, and then I'm going to go my own way. So that was one lie. Another lie was, that night I said, I am going to do my own game on Sundays, and it is going to be its own campaign. I'm going to have these elements running in it, and I look forward to catching up with you guys afterwards. He then took that to mean I was poaching his players, which really just shows how insecure he is, because offering an alternative, if you have something good, should not threaten it. Also, that is not what I said. Everyone at that table was shocked that I was leaving and were unaware that I was running my own thing, because of course I was planning on running on running a campaign without them. So none of them had to come over, except for maybe one guy who Ethan Ralph hated. He said he was a bad player, doesn't grasp things, doesn't run things well. So if you're losing someone you almost detest and hate, what are you really losing? And then, of course, as I said, he's bearing false witness again by stating, I'm poaching players, I'm destructively ending something, and the table just exploded. Now, I've been to a few Alcoholics Anonymous courses, not for myself, but for the course of my education, to learn about other people's problems. And one thing they tell you is when you have a problem, you have to use your I statements. I did this. It did this to me, and I did this to other people. One thing on Family Matters that I really liked was said, you don't know what alcohol's doing to you until it's done to you. And again, that's where you have to step back, reflect, and use your I statements. Now, he cannot, because he says that the table just exploded. Well, no, he exploded. He says, I ended the whole session in kit and caboodle. No, he did. I was totally down and on board for finishing the dude's arc, but he got so insecure, hurting his feelings, he ended it. He didn't want to do it anymore. He needs to say that. Now, in retrospect, maybe I should have brought this up sooner, but wouldn't it have had the same effect? At least I see that in retrospect now. I mean, what differently could I do? I also began to make it clear that I don't like the format that he's going, because 2 hours is not enough to do a role-playing session unless it's very compact, very tight, and we all adhere to the choices that are being provided to us rather than thinking outside the box and giving our own solutions and him adapting to them. And now he's gone even worse by having 1 hour sessions, which I gotta say changes the whole thing so much it might as well not be called Dungeons and Dragons. But yeah. And I haven't spoken to him since. Except until, eerily enough, a couple days ago, when he says he has tickets to go see Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves. And instead of flying off the handle or outright rejecting or blocking, because he said he's seeing it with his wife and kids and inviting me, I said, you know what? It would be nice to see them again. And I gotta admit, I would never have expected to hear from you. Now, of course, he also put out a video stating this and how it's mending a broken friendship, which is odd because in 2 minutes earlier in the video or whatever, he's stating that he doesn't expect either of us to apologize for what was happened. And if there's no apology, how can there be a friendship? So that is where we are. I don't expect this to change anything, but I would like to just have 10 minutes, each of us, say our piece and go our separate ways. That is my expectation for that. But hey, are there any horror stories you have in mind from your own experiences? Be they a toxic relationship or a game group. I don't care. You are 9.5 minutes in. I thank you for your time. Please consider hitting the like and subscribe. And I thank you for your time. Until next time, Webhead Mike, out.